Attention passionate Seattle Seahawks fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle SEAHAWKS fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying close attention to the NFL rumors swirling around, you've probably heard the buzz about potential moves that could reshape the NFC West once again. And at the heart of this chatter, there's a real possibility that the Seahawks might be making a significant splash in the secondary. The latest speculation suggests that Seattle is eyeing a trade for Jessie Bates III, the safety currently with the Atlanta Falcons. This isn't just idle talk. It's a move that could elevate the Seahawks' already impressive defense to new heights, giving them that extra boost needed to contend for a Super Bowl once again. Jessie Bates III, at just 28 years old, is a proven ball hawk and a game-changer in the secondary. Over his career, he's accumulated a total of 20 interceptions, an impressive stat that speaks volumes about his instincts and playmaking ability. Just last season, Bates showcased his talent with 41 solo tackles, 34 assists, and a total of 75 combined stops, not to mention snagging 2 interceptions for 20 yards and forcing a fumble. His PFF grade in the 2025 season was an impressive 82. Especially considering he played against the New Orleans Saints, where he racked up 5 tackles and a pass deflection. Bates is known for his ability to read the quarterback and make plays on the ball, and his coverage skills are top tier, with a career 45 pass deflections. What makes Bates even more attractive for the Seahawks is his versatility and his knack for making plays in high-pressure situations. His ankle injury last season limited his mobility at times, but when healthy, he's a true difference maker. He's averaging over 1.5 tackles per game, which is solid for a safety, and he outperforms a lot of other safeties in the league when it comes to INT rate. His playmaking ability can be compared to some of the best safeties in the league, like Minkah Fitzpatrick, especially considering his 2024 performance. The Falcons, on the other hand, are in a bit of a rebuild mode. With a record of 4-8, they're looking to reset their roster, clear cap space, especially with players like Kyle Pitts, who has a $22 million cap hit, and accumulate draft picks. The rumor is that Atlanta might be willing to part ways with Bates, especially if they can get a solid second-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft in return. It's a smart move for them, considering they're prioritizing youth and future assets over veteran safeties in a season where they're not necessarily playoff-bound. The Falcons have also been known to be cautious about giving up too many points on defense, allowing an average of over 23 points per game, so they're likely looking for a rebuild that emphasizes youth and draft capital. From the Seahawks' perspective, this potential trade makes a lot of sense. Seattle's secondary has been solid, but could use a true game-changer like Bates to take it to the next level. Our safeties, especially with Quandre Diggs leading the way, have been performing well, but adding Bates would elevate the entire unit. His ability to serve as a center fielder in the back, reading the quarterback's eyes and making plays on the ball, would complement what the Seahawks already have. Plus, his presence would bring a new level of confidence and swagger to the secondary, reminiscent of the elite units we've seen in the past. And let's not forget how this could impact the Seahawks' overall defense. The addition of Bates could lead to a projected increase in turnovers by around 20%, which means we'd be looking at roughly 14 to 15 takeaways per season. That's huge for a team that wants to flip field position and give Geno Smith more opportunities to light up the scoreboard. His knack for forcing turnovers and his ability to read the game would help Seattle's defense become even more aggressive. It's not just about creating turnovers, though. Bates's presence could also improve our pass EPA, expected points added per pass attempt, by around 15, meaning fewer big plays allowed and better overall efficiency against the pass. Now, adding Bates would also have strategic implications for Seattle's entire defensive scheme. With him anchoring the back end, the Seahawks could deploy more complex coverage schemes, mixing zone and man coverage more effectively. His ability to read routes and anticipate throws would allow our linebackers and cornerbacks to play more aggressively, knowing that Bates is lurking in the deep safety position. This kind of hybrid defense, with a strong center fielder in Bates and a versatile secondary, can be a nightmare for offenses, especially in a division where teams like the 49ers and Rams have potent aerial attacks. Of course, every trade has its risks and hurdles. The Falcons are asking for a second-round pick in 2026, which is a reasonable price given Bates's talent and age. But the Seahawks will need to balance that with their current roster needs and draft capital. Still, the allure of pairing Bates with Quandre Diggs and Jamal Adams, when healthy, could be enough to push this deal forward. It's a move that screams win-now mentality, especially if Seattle wants to seriously contend for a deep playoff run and challenge the 49ers' dominance in the NFC West. Speaking of the division, the NFC West is shaping up to be even more competitive this year. The 49ers are still the team to beat, with their stout defense and a dynamic offense led by Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey. But the Seahawks are not far behind, especially if they make a move like acquiring Bates. The Rams, with their veteran talent and the return of Matthew Stafford, are also lurking in the shadows, and the Cardinals, despite their struggles, have some young core pieces that could surprise if everything clicks. Still, Seattle's focus is on solidifying their defense and making a push for the playoffs, and adding a player like Bates would be a huge step in that direction. Now, we should also consider how this move fits into the Seahawks' long-term strategy. Seattle has always been a team that values building through the draft, but they're also not shy about making aggressive moves when the opportunity arises. This potential acquisition of Bates signals that they're serious about contending right now, especially with Geno Smith playing at a high level and the offensive line stabilizing. It's a coordinated effort to put together a roster that can compete with the best in the NFC and perhaps even topple the mighty 49ers. And let's talk about the impact this could have on the locker room. A player like Bates brings not only talent but also leadership and a winning mentality. His experience and success in Atlanta, combined with his reputation as a hard worker and team player, would be a boost to the Seahawks culture. Young players like Tariq Woolen and Sidney Jones could learn a lot from a veteran safety with Bates's instincts and competitive spirit. It's about creating a winning environment, and this kind of move sends a message that Seattle is all in on pushing for a Super Bowl. Of course, nothing is set in stone yet. We'll have to see how negotiations unfold, what the Falcons' asking price will be, and whether the Seahawks see Bates as the missing piece. But make no mistake, the potential of adding a player of Bates's caliber to the Seahawks secondary has fans dreaming about a dominant defense that can carry this team deep into the postseason. It's a move that could define the remainder of the 2024 season and beyond, especially if it's executed at the right time. The Seahawks have shown they're willing to make bold moves when needed. This could very well be one of those moments that turns their season around. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Seattle Seahawks news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick, and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking ahead, if the Seahawks manage to pull off this trade for Bates, fans can expect the secondary to instantly become one of the most formidable units in the league. With Bates patrolling the deep middle, the Seahawks' pass defense could see a drastic improvement. Think about it. A secondary that can force more turnovers, prevent big plays, and give our pass rush more opportunities to get after the quarterback. The defense has been a strength this season, but adding a player like Bates could transform it into a top 5 unit in the NFL, giving Seattle a real shot at making a deep playoff run. And let's not forget the overall team chemistry. When you bring in a player who's hungry to win, who's proven he can excel in different schemes, it energizes the entire locker room. The Seahawks have a talented roster, especially on offense, but they need that defensive spark to elevate their game. Bates's experience and playmaking skill could be the spark that ignites the team's championship aspirations. Plus, with some of the other key pieces like Quandre Diggs and Jamal Adams, Seattle's secondary could develop into a true lockdown unit capable of shutting down even the most explosive offenses in the league. In the end, the big question is whether the Seahawks can pull off this trade and what it will cost them. But if they do, fans should be ready for a whole new level of excitement. The potential to see Bates, a true safety superstar, lining up in the Seahawks secondary in the coming weeks is something that could be a game changer. It's a move rooted in ambition, a statement that Seattle is aiming to be a serious contender. not just in the NFC West, but across the entire NFL. And with the division heating up, every move counts. So Seahawks fans, keep your fingers crossed because this could be the move that propels us back to the top. And now, Seattle Seahawks fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Seattle Seahawks. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Seattle Seahawks news.